La 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 la. Sibilance. No, I won't do that. Anyways.
Warming up the voice,
Yeah,
the
I gotta get
instrument.
my tune my instrument, and all of a sudden you got the energy. Hey guys, good morning. Hey, it's Michael Beck reporting here live with another episode of ChatGTM with my partner, sidekick, and compadre, Mr. Chad Horn. Good morning,
You've had
Chad.
more coffee than me. Not fair.
Yeah, it's way too early for Michael Beck in this kind of intensity, right?
Right.
You're not supposed to say yes, so I'm glad you didn't. So yeah, well, we put together an ad hoc one, right? This isn't our usual taping schedule. We shoot every 2 days now, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you guys are seeing a lot of us, but the cool thing is we got a lot of great news to share about a lot of really great, actually not a lot, a handful of really great companies we like to work with that have a lot of good news, right? And today we have with us our friend Krish. Krish has a company called No. It is something that I hate the word game changing because they use it too much but what he has is something that has a really strong utility that is meaningful. Right.
Meaningful and exceedingly practical in today's worlds.
And what has you excited about No, Chad? Why? Because you brought this to us and said, hey, we really need to work with these guys.
I mean, multiple things. And it starts with Krish, right? Everybody, this is Krish. You'll get to meet him.
Oh, I like to talk about him like he's not
Hey,
in the
you know
room.
what?
Hey, Krish, how you doing?
Oh, really?
Talk about me in the third person.
I'll start high level.
Yeah.
It always comes down to team, product, and vision. And Krish, No, checks all three boxes strongly.
Yeah. And he's a good guy.
Thanks
He's
so much. So kind.
Yeah, I'm gonna just talk over you. He's one person that we really enjoy our time with him. Like he's just a good guy, and if anybody has a chance to connect with him, man, super smart. I'm gonna embarrass him. Has a fantastic product. He's a family guy. He's somebody that we vibe with, and we are excited to know and proud to support him. Morning, Krish.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. And at this point, it's I'm blushing. You could probably
good.
The camera a little closer, you might guess it. Yeah, thank you so much.
If the cringe is strong and I can heat myself on the warmth of your cheeks coming off the screen, I think we've done our job.
Yeah.
So
Chad might need it more.
Yeah. So we've been talking a while, and one of the things we like to do as a business is demystify or connect people with the idea of something. When they hear about something, yeah, I know what it is, and most times they don't, right? Tell us what No does, right? And tell us why this is such an important project for you and why you had to bring it to life.
Awesome. And actually, by the way, thank you so much for having me. I am Krish Sridhar, founder and CEO of No. I actually think serendipitously, the room that you're in is very apt for No. Because, you've got all superheroes in your room right there. And No's entire mission is to turn frontline superheroes with all the power of Iron Man or Captain America or anything that you have there going in your room, right? So you've got people working really hard jobs in a tough industry. And No essentially is one single app which essentially turns frontline workers into superheroes if they were not one already, right? We have a second part mission, which is we want to give all workers the tools so that they can do the job efficiently. They have all the information in their hands. They're trained very well, do all of that. And at the same time, make managers and owners and operators, leaders of their company and save them all the nightmare and hassle of tons of paper and, text messaging chaos and dealing with a lot of attrition and all the challenges that, F&B owners deal with on a day-to-day basis. So at a macro level, that's what we do. The app does a number of things, everything from, the vision is you want to be able to take, let's say, Chad, stick him into a restaurant. He's already going to be great. Him No. And then No essentially becomes like a sidekick or a co-pilot, which essentially tells you what tasks you have to do for the day. If you, if you need any training help, then it trains you as well. It welcomes you to the company. It essentially runs the whole frontline on autopilot, right? So that's essentially what it does. And if you're an owner or operator, it gives you all the data, dashboards, insights, without you even having to look for it. It proactively tells you everything that you need to know.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's essentially what we do.
I'll be honest. The talking about making everybody a superhero. It's like if I had to kind of prior to this conversation generalize what you do. It's like you reduce the chaos, right? In the workers world, you alleviate the pain and frustration of not knowing what to do and helping people solve problems. But if it's like a doctor, right, that's like you're giving them surgery, medicine, etc. to make them better. But you're flipping it and saying, hey, no, also we're going to turn you into super. We're going to give you the bionic implants to make you superhuman at your job. And that wasn't a lens I was looking at this through.
Well, but I think in 2025, you have the capability to do that. Forget this whole AI thing, right? So I mean, that's now, but even well before all of that. There's enough technology that helps lawyers and doctors and people like that, and we need good simple technology because technology can also become extremely complex. But you want simple technology that solves problems and gives everybody the capability to be amazing at their jobs. Absolutely.
Well, it also sounds like you're taking a number of what would be, I guess, point solutions, right? And you're making a unified platform because Chad and I know we've been around a long time. We're seeing all these various offerings on the market, and we love a lot of them. But the reality is there's only so much money to spend on solutions, and SaaS fatigue is a thing, right? And that's one of the things we love about what No's doing is you're bringing multiple solutions that do things, like audits and forms and checklists and workflows, and you got repairs and maintenance things you can do, right? And attendance tracking. There's all these other things that you do holistically that provide value that can replace other systems and reduce costs. Is that what your vision is, and you're going to keep adding to that?
Yeah, so I would frame it slightly differently, but at a macro level, you're right.
I'm on
But
a
I think the way we think about it, is more. It's more that yes, there is SaaS fatigue for sure, right? So lots of technology out there, but more importantly, I think we thought you needed something that could stitch a bunch of things together so that things sing and dance very well with each other. Now, some people have existing solutions, in which case we play nicely with them, right? We don't necessarily think that you should rip everything out and stick No in it. Others may not, right? In which case we have a full suite offering where you can do everything from training to task management to checklists and audits and everything, and employee engagement and all of that as well. Because then the functionality sort of really works well with each other, right? So when somebody starts their shift, they may need to do a bunch of things, and then we can inform them about it. Maybe they have some questions. They don't know how to do a task, right?
Yeah.
So then automatically, or we like to call it automatically, a training pops up, right? So which then helps you say, okay, how do I, do that task better? And maybe it's your anniversary. So in which case the app pops up and wishes you something, your work anniversary. I mean, if the app knows your wedding anniversary, that'll be slightly weird. But so the app essentially then congratulates you and maybe offers you a voucher, and it can be from a rewards platform, right? We're not doing rewards and stuff like that. So we don't think we'll solve everything for sure. But the idea is we want to keep things simple. So we give people choice, right? And we don't believe in being, holding anybody hostage to anything, right? So you've got something good that's going on, you like it, you should keep that, right? Because our mission is, again, to make everybody's life better and to make you better at what you do. We're not trying to sort of, swallow everything or in any such thing.
You know what I love about the way you talk about things, Krish, is that while everybody's beating the gong of AI loudly, AI, you literally at the beginning of this conversation said, well, let's not talk about AI. Let's talk about what it does. Because I believe you're almost in a place where the rest of the world's moving to, which is AI is going to be table stakes. It's baked into things that we're doing, right? You showed us stuff the other day that blew my mind that you can point that at something and it'll just create the training, right? But you're making this already factored into it. That if you don't have, it's just, why wouldn't you? It's not, hey, we have AI. Yes, it's granted, right? But I don't know. I love the idea that you're not using a buzzword, right?
Yeah, no, it definitely buzzes. It's tremendous value, by the way. Most of our team members have some AI tool that they're using, right? Whether it's everything from as simple as ChatGPT to creating marketing videos using, certain tools which create video content automatically and so on. But I agree with you, which is, I think if you fast forward 24 months, and I'm saying 24 months, not like 60 months, not 5 years, not 10 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be so embedded in so many solutions that I don't think we're going to talk about something saying AI. It will be almost weird, like today when you're telling somebody, this app has search.
I'm using .NET,
or this app
right? Yeah.
It's like nobody says, "Oh, let me go Google some," and it's not special, right? Google's
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
everybody's fabric.
yeah.
You're searching for things. It's part of everything. And I think that moment is going to come sooner rather than later. And everybody's just going to expect it. You're not going to sit there being like, "Oh, let me add this AI module," kind of thing, right? You want to create training. You will want an AI assistant, which helps you, edit your training or, make changes to it, suggest ways you can make it better. That's all, I think, going to be part of table stakes. So companies just like, and I mean companies like
Yeah,
us, like
yeah.
people are building software in the business of building this, just have to factor that in because it's going to become completely omnipresent very, very fast.
Yeah. Well, that's quite. I'm hijacking probably a question that Chad has, but when you mentioned the room, right? And there's a point of pride for me, but what's also represented in this room is a ton of origin stories, right? Where they came from, how they came to be, a radioactive spider, whatever came up. But who'd you make this for? Because we're coming in trade show season. You clearly have certain customers in mind. Who'd you make this for?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. And maybe I'll just, take 2 minutes to actually take a step back on something
Yeah.
that's extremely close to my passion and heart as well. We genuinely believe that the lottery of birth shouldn't determine how your life progresses, right? So, I'm the son of a doctor. So I got, let's say lucky and, I got good education and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But just because you were born in some place or to somebody doesn't mean that should drive your career, and everybody should have an opportunity to be better, right? So the reason I took a step back is because that's the same mission in which we build a company as well. Like we have many people in the company who are the first people in their families to go to university or didn't go to university at all, right? We have people, you can be in a remote, village somewhere during COVID. There were a couple of people who were, using their phones, tethering and working off of a village somewhere, right? So that's a theme. So just improving people's lives, that's the general theme that I'm extremely passionate about, whether it's within the company or in what services we provide, right? I always joke to the company, and this is by no means a disrespect to Candy Crush, but I always joke saying, we're not building Candy Crush, right? So we're building something that's meaningful, that helps people meaningfully.
Right.
And we have enough people in the company whose lives depend on it as well, right? So we take this very, very seriously. And so the same way, even the product that we are building, we wanted to build it for blue and gray collar workers, right? So I know that term is, the term is, it could mean so many things, which is why frontline workers is easier to think about it. But people who didn't necessarily have like a crap ton of, access to technology or solutions and things like that. But because I'm a technologist by training, I believe that today it's like industrial revolution. I can build technology which can help pretty much every, last person on the planet. And the people who needed it are the 3 billion people who are working in deskless frontline jobs, right? So that's essentially why we built it.
Yep.
Now, I'll also be honest though, there is always a tension. The people paying for the solution are employers, right? So which is either the owner, the operator, and things like that. So it's not that we can't build things that people want to pay for, right? But at the same time, we also want to build things in a way, like for example, we have turned away functionality, which people wanted to pay. We said we will not build it because we felt he was either too big brother or it would drive bad behavior, etc.
Oh, wow.
And so we actually turned money away, right? Because we don't want this to become like, just something to help like, owners and operators alone. We want this to also be something that, every worker enjoys and genuinely believes that makes them a superhero.
Awesome. Krish, I would love to ask you more questions. I know we don't have time right now, so we're going to need to have you back on.
Yeah.
But tell us about where you're going to be this coming month. As Michael mentioned at the outset, it's trade show season. I know people are going to want to connect with you.
Yeah.
Literally feels like, I need to, just buy a house in Vegas or something like that, right?
We're going to get you an Elvis costume.
All roads point to Vegas. It looks like it. So I'm going to be spending a bunch of time in Las Vegas in the month of March. So starting from Mertech, through the pizza show to Barn Expo to, to multi-unit kind of franchising kind of shows. And then again, finishing up still further, not quite deserts of Las Vegas, but like, Arizona.
Got to bring some
cleaning up with
chapstick.
RLC.
It's going to be very dry.
Yes. Yeah. So definitely, I'm going to be there throughout, right? So Vegas all the way through to RLC, so Tech to RLC, in all the shows, in one way or the other, definitely be there. Or we'd love to meet anybody who wants to. So that'll be great. Yeah, it's gonna be super exciting. I'm really excited. And it was really the nice thing about this group is, the restaurant fraternity just definitely feels like everybody is nice. And, I would love to give shout outs to so many people in this call already, starting, people like, I met you guys through somebody, right? So who told us we should catch up.
Anthony Presley. I'll say the name.
That's right. Yeah. Anthony, got a lot of grateful for Time Forge and Anthony in that.
Yeah.
So then I met Anthony through somebody else, right? I can give a shout out to Marielle, right? Marielle Cocos. So everybody is in this nice, beautiful. So I'm really keen to meet others. I wouldn't have the chance to talk to you guys or meet anybody else without this what feels like a nice, friendly family. So delighted if somebody sees me, I'm happy to buy you coffee, happy to grab a beer, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I would love to connect.
Sounds like we might be having a dinner on one of the nights or two too. We might be arranging.
We should do it. Yeah, absolutely. Happy to host. Happy to host one or more dinners. Let's find a place and let's do it.
I'm going to steal one of your questions, Chad. You probably would be asking is, we think about, meeting clients at these events or potential clients or prospects, but there's other people we want to meet, right? Which are partners. Who would be a good partner or kind of companies that should think about seeing you while you're there or should seek you out?
Yeah. So I think it sort of alludes to an earlier part of this conversation, which is we like playing nicely with anybody, right? We definitely are in this frontline worker space, right? So we're not CRM, we're not ERP, we're not any of those. So this is what this is our swim lane and this is what we're doing. If you're building, accounting software and you feel like you want to, add other offerings to your plate, let's chat. If you are doing, payroll and you want to add other things to your plate, let's chat. Anything that complements this world, we're more than happy to meet. But to be honest, I also love a good beer. So, anybody who just wants to swap notes about building startups, SaaS, anything like that, I'm more than happy to.
Sounds like he's ready to geek out with some folks.
It's a good place
All of that.
for it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Chad, anything before we wrap up here?
No, I think we're just really excited to see you, I guess, multiple times the coming month, Chris. And seeing our friends in the industry, as you mentioned, it's a great group.
Yeah.
It
really is. Are you? I forgot. Are you going to be heading over to Chicago for the NRA show as well, or is that something that you're still deciding on?
That's right. So I was there last year as well
Yeah.
at NRA. Definitely plan on being there this year as well. But hopefully catch that break between April and May to do other kinds of work. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it feels like I'm just on a trade show all day.
Yeah, that loop gets strong.
Yeah, got to get back and do other kinds of work as well. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, I think I know that you have something to get to here, and we really, value the time getting together. We're excited to see you in Vegas, and excited to make some waves, and we'll make some content from there, and maybe highlight some of the great conversations you're having at the show. For anybody that wants to talk to Krish, you can obviously find him on LinkedIn. But if you really want to, look at his company, understand the product he's bringing to market, the website's called getknowapp.com. That's GETKNOWAPP.com. And Krish and his team would be happy to have a conversation with you, understand what you're looking at, and truly they offer partnership. This isn't a, get in line. Let's, we're not going to integrate. They're open to a conversation, and they're doing some really, really interesting stuff. We're not going to bring up AI because AI is just part of the business these days, but really, really smart people that know that you should get to, excuse the pun, get to know. It's so bad, but
Yeah,
that joke
thanks
is
so
part
much,
of it.
Fran.
Yeah. Krish, thank you so much for getting us your time,
It's a pleasure.
treasure,
Thanks
and
for having
attention
me.
this morning. Absolutely.
Thank you, Krish.
Thanks so
right.
much.
We'll see you in
guys soon.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
See you there.
See ya. Bye.